Hello everyone, this is Carrie from Celestial Forecasts. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you have been drawn to this reading, this video, we'll be taking a look at your divine connection, however way you see that connection, an ex-partner, a soulmate, a twin flame. This could be your past love, a lost love. You could see them as the one for you. So that's the energy that I'll be diving into for this reading. General advice as always, so please do keep that in mind throughout the reading and only take the parts of it that truly resonate for you. All right, guys, let's get into it. Capricorn, welcome. How are you guys? All right, so let's go ahead and grab some insight here for you when it comes to your divine connection. Angels and spirit guides, please, for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. What do you need to know? What does your person need to bring forward and express through these cards? All right, we're starting off with healing. Please work on your healing. That can have a very different interpretation for each person tuning in. For some, it could be spiritual. For some, it could be emotional. For others, it could be physical. So there's this need to address that, Capricorn. All right, let's see what else. Presence. Okay, can you feel my presence with you? I feel this is presenting itself in a way where you guys are apart, you're not together. And so in the meantime, you're being directed to focus on your individual healing in however way you both need it, you know? All right, let's see what else. What do we need to learn here? Grab another card for Capricorn. There it is. And we have infinite. I love you to infinity. Okay. No matter what happens, no matter where life takes you both, this person will always have love in their heart for you. And maybe you feel that as well. You know, you hold a very special place in your heart for this person. Even if life doesn't find a way to bring you guys back together, I feel you'll forever be connected in that way. All right, so let's add to this. Let's see what else we can find out when it comes to your connection here. Angels and spirit guides, please, for Capricorn. All right. We do have coffin here. It does say endings, okay? Endings bring new beginnings, growth, change, liberation, transition, picking up very similar energies from the death card in tarot. Okay, some of you guys might be thinking of or connecting with a Scorpio. It's very similar in energy. So even though things ended between the two of you, life might be preparing you guys for a new chapter, a new beginning here. And maybe the separation could serve you guys really well in the meantime, allowing you both to focus on what needs change in order to take you through the opportunity to grow, to be free from maybe past experiences or behaviors, in order for you to grow, in order for you to maybe be the best version of the person that you need to be or are already. All right, what else for Capricorn? What else? Okay, so we do have addiction here, guys. Codependent, obsession, possession, controlling, if I can read it so small, has a block, restraint. So whatever that block might represent. Now, unfortunately, and I'm just getting this for obviously those of you who have experienced this, you might have had a partner who had real addictions. It could have been alcoholism, could be drug abuse, you know, whatever this addiction references, and somebody might have passed from that addiction, okay? So it could be a literal life that came to an end. But if it's not that, obviously don't take that part of it. But I do feel part of the healing energy as well is, you know, it could be somebody who was dealing with something pretty heavy here and focusing on that healing to be able to overcome these addictions. It could be that as well. All right, let's see what else for Capricorn. What else do we need to know? We've got two cards coming through, guys. We have the butterfly, relationship evolving to the next phase. I love that. Healing the inner child, growth. So the coffin references growth. The butterfly does as well. So there is transformation here, right? So again, referencing the death card where something needs to end in order to come back to life, perhaps. So even though a relationship might have ended, if that's something that you've been through, the time apart has allowed change to happen for things to evolve towards maybe a reconciliation. And then this card came through as well. We have the soulmate card, soul connection, partnership, agreement, soul contract. So there's definitely a soul contract here between you and this person, Capricorn. Pretty strong, pretty intense. Doesn't mean it's been perfect by any sense. We all have our ups and downs in our partnerships, in our relationship. So, you know, it could have been a blessing as well why things might have ended, because the old way of how you guys interacted, it could be replaced by something better. So let's go ahead and see if the tarot cards pick up off of that energy as well. So something's changing, something is evolving, I feel, for the better. That's a good thing. Through that healing process. All right, so for Capricorn, what else do we need to know here? What do we need to know? If death card pops up, it's just clarification. All right, so we do have the King of Pentacles coming through, but it's coming up in the reverse. That is how I will interpret that. So we might have a masculine here who's very stubborn, very difficult to deal with. They might be all about their work environment, you know, their money. That could be what they're obsessed about and not putting enough effort into the relationship. We do have the Two of Swords here. So, you know, maybe Divine Feminine, you feel like the relationship just wasn't moving in the direction that you wanted it to go because your masculine just wasn't on board. Let's see what else. Oh, this is quite interesting. We have the Queen of Pentacles, obviously in the upright, King of Pentacles in the reverse. So I'm kind of feeling here that the feminine was just holding down the fort, you know, taking care of everything. You guys could have had a family, you could have had you could have had a child or children together, and maybe Divine Feminine, you know, you just had to take care of everything, especially if a masculine just was not there for you in the way that you needed them to be. Now, I must say with the Three of Swords coming through, yes, it was hurtful for you that your masculine wasn't there for you in the way that you needed them, but it could also have involved maybe an affair. It could have been a third party scenario. So this was very hurtful, guys. Some of you, this could have resulted in maybe a divorce, especially if you guys were married. It not only did you guys break up, but it broke up the family dynamic as well. We do have the Hierophant coming through here. Yeah, I do feel it might have involved marriage for some of you, or maybe you guys have been together a while and already had a family, had a home together, and it just fell apart. We do have the Five of Swords, disagreements, competition. Yeah, other people got in the way of this, and what might have started off beautifully, you know, after a while you guys were fighting, you were in each other's face, just not seeing eye to eye. Isn't good. And here we go. Here we go. Look at this. There we are. There's that death card, guys. I'm telling you. All right. There's the coffin. So something needed to change. Something needed to go through some sort of metamorphosis, a transformation, because the old way of how you guys were interacting, it wasn't going to work long term. Something was going to break. And it did. More than likely, it did. So as you can see with the death card, it allows for change. It allows for the metamorphosis, a transformation, that transition. And that's what this is talking about. You know, maybe the old way of how you guys interacted with each other, that had to die. That had to phase out. The old versions of who you guys were, that needed to be addressed as well. And then we've got the Lovers, which can also be referencing third parties. So there could have been trust issues and infidelity here because maybe of a masculine that had an affair, that cheated, or part of the poor choices that were made here is that they didn't give the relationship as much effort as they needed to. They were giving other parts of their life all the effort, you know, work, friendships, you know, maybe their immediate family. You know, they had the attention of this person, but when it came to the partnership, the marriage, maybe the children, you know, if that was a part of the scenario, none of those areas got the attention that was needed. So this person could have dropped the ball there. Let's see what else. I am so not surprised to see this, guys. The Tower. Okay. Things fell apart, I must say. It did fall apart. So for those of you in separation, obviously you've gone through this, you've lived it, you've been through it. And I gotta tell you, if that's your story, the person coming through in this reading, they do regret it. I feel they still love you, but they needed to lose you in order to realize just how painful life would be like without you. Okay. Look at that, 10 of Swords. You know, and if you look at the image, this is somebody that's holding on to somebody that wants to go. It's like, please don't go. I know I screwed up. And, you know, the other person's like, you know what? I'm done. You hurt me. You didn't make me a priority. You didn't make our relationship a priority. So I'm out. I want to make myself a priority. And then this is the next card. We've got the 10 of Cups. So I can't help but feel that, you know, some of you guys could have been married. Some of you, again, could have had a family together. They had it all and they blew it, possibly for, you know, another person, third party, just drama. Just drama. I can't get this card to not be in the glare. There we go. Yep, indeed. All right. What else? Can this turn around? I feel it can, though, because that's part of the Death card energy. Change, you know? Something can turn around. What else for Capricorn? All right, Divine Feminine, wherever you are on this journey with your masculine, you know, I love that the High Priestess is tapped into the intuition, into your heart space, your gut instincts. Whenever I see the High Priestess, as well as the Queen of Cups, it's picking up off of that energy. It's like, oh, you don't have to tell me what's going on because I already feel what's going on. I know what's going on instinctively. You already know it. What did I say? Stop it. Queen of Cups. There you go. So my feminines coming through in this way, if you don't have a masculine that's communicating, they don't have to. You're already picking it up. You're picking up off of that vibe, that energy. What I can tell you here is that they think about you, you know, 6 of Cups, picking up off of the nostalgic memories that you guys had shared at one point in time. And they can't help it. They regret it, but maybe they're also being very stubborn to reach out. It's just a matter of time, though, before you hear from this masculine, I feel. If this is your story, Divine Feminine, keep living the best life that you can. And some of you guys, maybe, again, you have a child, you have a children to raise, and you're just doing the best that you can. And we have a masculine here who maybe didn't realize that at that point, but they do now. The regrets are real. You know, they needed to experience life without you, perhaps. And part of the 6 of Cups is they want you back. They think about the past and what the future would be like, and they want you there. They want that reconciliation, and that's clarified by the Magician. Some of you guys, maybe your person could be Gemini or Virgo. You could have these signs in your chart, of course. And sure, they want to manifest you back in their life. Can that happen? It's totally up to you. I feel that's a part of the vibe and the energy coming through here because that's truly what they're wanting to manifest. I cannot get this glare out of here. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's possible. For those of you who want it, it can happen. But I feel for my feminines, you're not exactly sitting in a corner somewhere being miserable and just waiting for things to pan out. That's not you. You're living your life. You have to. You know, you might have other people depending on you at this point. And if it happens, perhaps you'll entertain it. But if it doesn't, you move on. You live your best life. And we might have a masculine here who could ultimately try to reconnect with you. And should that happen, I do feel on behalf of my feminines, you know, and I've been getting this for this batch of readings, that it falls on the feminine perhaps to decide whether or not it can happen. All right, that's what I have, guys. If you're interested in your own reading, that info is down below in the description box. All the decks you see here will be listed as well. Thank you so much, guys. I hope this resonated and helped you out. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.